If you listen to the last episode, you know why I started making videos to market my law practice. What I want to do in this one is discuss the way I look at it, the difference between organic traffic and paid traffic. So from my perspective, paid traffic is traffic you get by paying to have someone connect with you. In this list, I'd include things like billboards, TV or radio ads, local service ads, paid leads, and things of that nature. The most telling sign of paid traffic is that once you stop paying for it, it's gone. It tends to shut off. Organic, on the other hand, isn't traffic that's free. It's simply traffic that finds you through referral, search, browse, or the algorithm putting you in front of them. Examples might be blog posts, your website SEO content, even your Google business profile, social media posts, things of that nature. The main advantage to paid traffic is it's fast and you can be very targeted with it. If you need work soon, paid marketing, if done correctly, can find that traffic for you almost immediately. The main disadvantage might be kind of obvious to most paid traffic is that not only is it expensive, but it also stops working almost immediately once you stop paying for it. Now, organic marketing has nearly the opposite pros and cons. So unlike paid traffic, it tends to be pretty slow, although that's kind of changing a bit with the way that social media has evolved into something Gary Vee calls interest media. I'll talk about that probably in another episode. But unlike paid traffic and depending on the channel, it can be evergreen content, meaning people can see that for days, months, or even years after you post it. Now, one thing I want to emphasize is that organic is not free, even if you do it yourself. You will eventually want to hire or delegate parts of the process and hopefully most of the process to others at some point in time. I don't recommend that you do it right away. Either people who work for you or consultants you pay is who you're going to bring in to help you with this process. Now, the one hidden cost of organic growth tends to be your time. Even though you can record and edit your organic content without paying someone, your time is probably the most valuable asset you have. So one of the most important things you need to learn if you're going to do organic marketing is to begin thinking about and delegating and outsourcing parts of the process as soon as you possibly can. That was really the biggest game changer for me personally. Otherwise, you're at a serious risk of probably giving up at some point in time or becoming very inconsistent because life gets busy. And when you get crunched for time, a lot of times this is the first to go. You're also taking yourself away from what are probably more remunerative parts of your business, either other forms of marketing or actually doing the work itself that generates your income. Now, you can absolutely hire an agency to help you with organic video. I get cold calls from them almost every single day, and that's still organic because the reach itself is still earned, not bought. An agency filming and editing your content doesn't make the resulting views paid traffic. It just means you paid for the labor instead of doing the labor yourself. Now, if you're a solo attorney or a small service professional or you run a small business without a marketing department, this show is for you in a pretty direct way. You're probably the one who's going to have to actually build this yourself, at least at first, because you maybe don't have a budget or enough confidence in the concept to hand this off to someone else and pay them to do it for you. That's exactly the position I was in when I got started. And a lot of what I share here is going to be about how I actually did that, kind of one step at a time, without it eating up my whole week. Now, if you're a marketing director at a small or mid-sized company, or you're the person responsible for deciding whether, let's say, to hire an agency or how to manage one once you have, this show should help you as well. Your problem isn't whether to hold the camera yourself. Your problem is knowing enough to make a good decision and whether you're getting a return on your investment. You probably need to know what good video strategy is for your particular business and your ideal audience, what that actually looks like before you hire or delegate tasks out. Knowing the right questions to ask an agency before you sign a contract and knowing what results you should reasonably expect to do are some of the most important things that I want you to get out of these videos. So depending on which one of you is listening right now, the value you get out of this show is going to look probably a little different. Now, if you're the DIY audience, you're going to walk away with hopefully systems that you can use. If you're the marketing director, you're going to walk away hopefully with some sense of better judgment so that whoever you hire or however you staff this internally, you're going to be making an informed decision instead of a lot of uninformed ones like I made over time and made a lot of mistakes. Now, if almost everyone has already heard at some point that they should be doing video, why isn't everybody already doing it? I think the honest answer is that most of us have been told this, and a lot of us have tried it. But if you haven't been able to find meaningful ROI on that effort, most people eventually stop. Video just becomes one more thing on a list that's already too long. So it kind of gets nodded at and then quietly ignored until you stop doing it entirely. Now that's kind of the gap I want to help you close in these videos. So that's kind of my premise. Organic, not because you have to do it all alone, but because the reach is something you earn, not something that you pay for. For attorneys and professionals who are ready to actually try this, marketing directors who need to make smart calls for their bosses, anyone who's ever been told they need video and just never had someone to show them what it actually looks like in real life. If you'd like to hear more about this, please subscribe to my podcast, and I'll see you on the next episode.